Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Good morning. Joel Krausar here. Day 3 of my guest host stint as Tony Tone is off this week at Hy-Vee Today here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. It's Wednesday, May 23rd already. It's almost Memorial Day weekend, which I know we're all looking forward to. And we've got some guests today to talk a little bit more about the Memorial Day weekend. But we're also excited because finally, apparently people need vacations. And Chef Tess is one of those people. And she is over getting some stuff ready for her day. She's back to work. Chef Tess is back with us after a fun trip to Colorado. How was your time off?
It was great. It was great. Sound good? It was good. We had a really great time. I haven't been to Colorado as an adult, so that was really awesome. I went there when I was 5 with my grandfather, and so I don't remember any of it. So it was like the first time. It was really, really fun. We did a lot of stuff that we were really hoping to do out there. Some horseback riding and lots of hiking and a little bit of altitude sickness. That wasn't on the list, but...
You know, that's one of those things you don't think about when you're going out there, especially if you're active. You don't realize that, and that's why the Olympic training facilities are out there in Colorado Springs to get people's bodies adjusted to stressful conditions. And if you're not prepared, you can't go at the speed that you're used to going sometimes.
Yeah, and that you're right. That was one thing that we did not think about at all. And I actually was totally fine. A little bit of a shortness of breath, which was kind of unnerving a little bit because, like, just sitting here talking to you, if we were doing that at the top of the mountain that we were at, you'd have to almost like catch up a little bit. But my wife actually got really, really sick. And like the first 24 hours we were in Colorado, she was like on the couch, really, really sick. So that part wasn't too fun. But
with the other thing, not just the physical side, but I know you mentioned you rented houses and cabins and things while you were there, so you're doing some of the cooking yourself. Yes. Cooking's a little bit different at altitude as well. It is.
That also is another thing that caught me by surprise, because it's just not one of those things. You see it on the back of all the packages of the food, like the different elevation cooking times and everything, but I have never experienced that firsthand, and so I honestly, even as a professional chef, did not even think about it. And I have to admit that the one night where she was really, really sick, I didn't want to, waste a good meal, so I was making shells and cheese, which is one of my, guilty pleasure meals. So I was just, boiling off this pasta, and it usually takes about 7 or 8 minutes, and it took 17.
Right.
And after my timer went off, I'm sitting here second-guessing myself, what time did I set this timer for? What am I doing here? Can't even cook shells and cheese? No, it was... But yeah, and there was something else too that took a while to make. Oh, pancakes.
Oh yeah.
So any sort of baking is affected. So it's just those little things. And my buddy and I were talking about it, and we were just being a chef and working at those altitudes would be really, really different. Everything about your day would be a little bit different than how it is here, and you just don't think about it. So.
And we have some of the pictures from your trip that they were bringing up here, and those are just. You get into the mountains and you just kind of feel like you're in a completely different world.
It was fun.
There's some water, and I know our first guest this morning, Russ Miller, who's actually the owner of the company that I work for, Affordable Metal Manufacturing. You're a fan of travel and getting out into the great outdoors, and you're heading out that way, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana here a little bit later this year. As you get ready for a trip, you gotta see pictures like this, and that gets you excited for the trip. I know you're going on a little bit later.
I'm looking forward to the trip this summer. Going to Montana and Washington and Oregon and California on a motorcycle, and hopefully I'll get to see some sights like she saw, and looking forward to that.
That's the next level, Tess. You go on a motorcycle next time.
I think. I like the comfort of my... shameless plug, Toyota RAV4.
I got an extra seat on my motorcycle. Okay.
So Russ Miller, our owner here at Affordable Manufacturing, where I am the sales and marketing manager, in with us this morning. Brooke was going to be our guest, but we upgraded. Don't tell her I said that. We upgraded to our owner, Russ, and I think the thing is people have heard me talk a little bit about what we do here on the show. We're a roll forming company. We do metal roofing. We do metal siding. We also do metal buildings. But I think we can talk about what we do all we want. But I think what's important, and one of the things that kind of drew me to the company, is the why we do what we do. You know, when you started the company 10 years ago, you know, tell that story a little bit.
10 years ago, I was going to Kentucky to help a pastor. He was making some pallets, and his business practices weren't as good as his work. And anyway, he was having problems. And but every time I would go down, he would say, "Let's put a metal roof over our sawdust," or let's add on here. And we'd go down to this little Wolf Creek metal place and get some metal to make a roof. And I saw their operation, and I said, why doesn't anybody do this in Iowa? And there was a few people doing it, but I wasn't aware of it, and did that for about 5 years. And one day I said, I'm going to do that, and bought myself a roll former. Didn't know anything about manufacturing, but I learned fast. And anyway, did that in Kelowna, started up there. But our main purpose of starting, our purpose statement is to make money to support faith-based missions. And that's what we're here for, is to support faith-based missions. My dad and my brothers are in Haiti doing mission work down there. And I didn't want to go to Haiti. I wanted to stay here. And so I can stay here and support them in what they're doing, and that's been working out well. And so we help a lot of local churches, nonprofit organizations here, putting roofs on, selling buildings, doing metal work for them, and that's been exciting. And to see where God takes this, and it's been a good journey. We moved to Muscatine 5 years ago.
Yep.
And we got into some zoning issues up in Johnson County, and that brought us to Muscatine. And it's been a good move. It was a costly move, but now that we're here, it was a really, really good move. And appreciate the Muscatine people, and got a really good team at work. And we're excited to see where this is going to go in the next 5 years, and hopefully meet a whole lot of new Muscatine people here.
Well, I think too, you talk about the move from Kelowna to Muscatine, and we're located, and again, this is Affordable Metal Manufacturing, we're located in the old Muscatine Racquetball Club, just up the road here from where we are at Hy-Vee, which that's a building that so many members of our community have memories of.
Right.
Whether it was going and playing tennis there, or going, like, I remember having baseball practices there as a kid.
Yes.
And we still have that facility that is open, the tennis courts that softball and baseball teams use. I think that's an undervalued thing of what your business has done, which is kept a structure that is needed in this community up and going, and keep filling it. Mm-hmm. I think so often what we see in towns, buildings just sit empty for a long time, and this has done something to help with that.
Yeah, the picture on that they're showing now is a church in Kentucky. The pastor there, he built a new church, and we put a standing seam metal copper roof on there, copper metallic, and he just that was about 4 years ago we built that. But right now he's in the process of building his retirement cabin. He cut his own logs and making a log cabin, and we're going down there this afternoon, and we're going to put a standing seam roof on his log cabin. So,
you know, we talked about standing seam roof, and we have some footage here. The standing seam's kind of cool because everything we do is roll formed, custom to order, which actually makes it more affordable because there's less waste. And you're only paying for the material that you use. And standing seam's a great example of that, because you can see this, we have a quick little video here. This is our machine, and we actually bring this on site for standing seam, and people are able to roll that there on site. As you can see, as we're going, so it comes onto the roof, the contractor puts it right up, and it snap locks together so that you can see that there are no exposed screws on the roof. They're all hidden underneath the rib, and it doesn't just make for a beautiful roof. It actually makes it a lot more durable, and you don't have issues with water and rusting out at your washer points, which can sometimes be an issue. Our ag panel, we use the highest quality exposed fastener so that your washer is going to last a long time. But we have a drone too. Russ has progressed our marketing department so that I get to fly a drone and take pictures of these roofs that are up there. So that's how we got that footage. But standing seam is just really an awesome product.
The standing seam is the best roof you can put on, and it's the last roof you'll have to put on because it'll be there forever. A thing that I might want to add here, in our program, we have the standing seam machine. We do not install, but we roll for contractors. So any contractor that's out there that wants to put on standing seam, whether it's for commercial or whether it's for residential or farming, we will roll it for them and they can install it. And I guess my theory was no use for everybody to buy a machine. I'm not one that wants to put it on, but I want to furnish the material for the contractor.
And one of the values there too is, maybe you get up and you measure it and you think it's going to be a 14-foot, 6-inch panel. But when you actually get it, the first panel installed, and maybe it's off a couple inches, or you realize you wish you had done something different. Once that first one's up, you can see that and say, oh wait, no, I want to make this adjustment. So instead of having 50 panels rolled out at the wrong length and now you have to go back and trim it, now you just discard one panel or trim one panel, and then the rest can be rolled out exactly how you want it to be.
Exactly. And that's the good part about rolling on site, or the contractor giving us the measurement, and we will roll it exactly to the length they want it, and then there's no waste and no cutting, and we take a lot of the work out of putting a roof on because everything's already cut to length.
And that panel that we were just showing Ron, that's actually our new expansion on our facility there. So that is something we just finished up last week. That's an all-steel building that is going on to our building as it expands. And how long were those panels, Russ?
They were 47 feet long.
So they were 47 feet long, one consistent run, and they teamwork got them up to the roof. Now you can do it where you can rent a crane and get the standing seam machine actually up at the level of the roof, so you're rolling straight onto the roof. That's really handy for longer panels where you don't want to have it bend or buckle in the transition process.
We did a house here a couple years ago, Parade of Homes in Iowa City, and there was a monoslope roof, and we took a crane and lifted our machine up, and those were 73 feet long, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was fun. Don't always want to do them that long, but
right.
It's fun to see how long you can do.
But just the fact that you can do it, that's one of the exciting things. The other thing that's exciting, and when Russ asked me to come on board to his team in January, one of the things that he gave me some goals were with buildings. A lot of folks didn't know that we actually sell buildings in this community, and anywhere from a small 10 by 10 lawnmower shed with just a lumber post frame package, to a big pole barn, all the way to a Perka hybrid building system, which is steel main frames with wood purlins and girts. Now, one thing, if you can see these buildings here, but I'm going to actually have Ryan bring up some architecture software that we have integrated into our business, which allows us to actually have you come into our shop, tell me what you're looking for, and we can design it to actually be. So here's an example. This is a hybrid building that we designed for a client over on the Illinois side, and Ryan's going to rotate it around here for us. As you can see, that's kind of an old mansard style, a gambrel style barn. This is going to be a horse barn for a client, and what this is this main frame structure is all steel. So the span, and this span is 64 feet. It's going to span 64 feet. You'll have no center posts, so you can do whatever you want inside the building. But one of the really neat things about these Perka hybrid buildings is you can see at the front view here, stop it right there, Ryan. Stop and go up a little bit. You hit that up arrow, and you can see that overhang that's coming off the eave side. With these style of buildings, you can actually do a 12-foot overhang on each eave without any support posts. It's a cantilevered overhang, so you can have a place to, you know, wash horses up, have an outdoor space. You could fence that in, but you're not having to put anything into the ground to support that overhang. So that's a real benefit of these hybrid steel buildings that we do with Perka Building. And that door on the front, this is an example of a smaller door. You actually could do, this is a 16-foot sidewall. You could do a 20-foot door on this eave side, or excuse me, this gable side, because you don't have a big beefy truss system. You have a steel truss system that's a lot smaller, going up through that cathedral look on this building. So this is something that we've grown our business. We've now got this ability. You can actually come in and we can sit down and partner and design the building of your dreams with you.
Exactly. It's beautiful for horse barns, machine sheds. We sold one to a guy that is got old European cars, and so we're excited about what we can do with the Perka hybrid building.
And we actually have people. We just quoted one yesterday. People are building a house. They're going to do these houses or barn dominiums are kind of the wave of the future in residential living, and these Perka buildings are designed to do these barn dominiums. You can do anything from a small, it looks like a ranch house, to these big elaborate. You can make a house out of this shell right here. The flexibility is pretty remarkable when it comes to what you can do.
Yeah, one thing I might say, Perka's been in business 37 years. 37 years, and have never had one go down in a tornado or in a storm. We've never had one go down yet, and
And we saw some pictures. You and I got a chance to go down to their factory.
Right.
We're a dealer for Perka Buildings. We got a chance to go down to their factory, and they showed us some pictures of a farm that got hit by a tornado, and 2 pole barns from a very highly reputable company were completely wiped out by this F2 tornado. And the Perka Building, they replaced 6 panels of siding, and a rock flew through and hit the windshield on the combine. They replaced the windshield on the combine and 6 panels of siding and a sliding door. Nothing else needed to be touched.
It shows the quality and the strength of the building, and it's a good way to go to protect what you're storing inside.
And more importantly, you know, you mentioned it at the top of the interview. What we do, our motivation for having a successful business is to give back and to help. And we are consistently doing that. We're doing some projects with St. Mary Matthias Catholic School here in town.
Right.
And then the city of Muscatine we're partnering with on some projects with the Muscatine Dog Park. We're using what we can do to help our community.
Yeah, we are here to give back. That's our main purpose. That's our only purpose, is to give back to those people that are giving of their lives to help people. And it's been a good experience. We got to send some material down to Haiti after the hurricane went through there, and they built 25 new houses with that, and that was a blessing. And you know, there's so many people in this world that don't have what we have, and so we can be here to help them. And the more we sell, the more money we make, the more we get to help other people.
Well, and we're working with one of our other partners, vendor partners, Sukup Buildings. They're all steel building. That building that we showed some video of is a Sukup steel building that we're a dealer for. Another great Iowa company, a family-owned company up in Sheffield, Iowa. They're helping us. We're potentially doing a building project in Haiti where it's going to be some storage for well drilling equipment, but then also have a segment that's a medical facility for doctors who are over there doing work with the people.
Yeah. There's a mission over in Haiti my dad started called Water for Life, and that's kind of what got missions into my heart. And I wasn't one that wants to go to Haiti or Africa or India. I want to stay here on solid ground. And anyway, so I thought if I can stay here and I can support my fellow partners in spreading the gospel, I can help here by supporting them. And that's been a good experience for me. I can stay here at home, and yet I can be valuable in Haiti or in Africa or wherever it might be. But along with that, I can be helpful right here in Muscatine. And I know that the church, the Mission, one of our employees has gone to the church called the Mission, I think it's called, and they needed metal on their roof, and we got to help them. And it's a blessing to be able to give back to those people here in Muscatine that have helped us. And, but we're always looking for new contractors. We're looking for ways to give, and we're looking for ways to make more money to give more to people that are in need here in Muscatine, as well as other places outside of Muscatine.
Well, again, thanks so much for coming in today, Russ. Thank you also for letting me host this show this week, as Tony has been gone. It's taking me away from the office for about an hour a day, but you guys have been more than supportive. And again, just an example of how you support the community. And so I appreciate you coming on today. I know it was kind of a last minute sub. We all got the call about 6 o'clock this morning that we needed to make a substitution. One of the things is we have the opportunity to kind of promote what we do, and I do know we have a commercial that's running that I think Ryan's going to pull up here as we transition to our next guest. Hallie Martin from
Affordable
7G
Metal Manufacturing has been serving customers since
next.
2013 in Muscatine. Locally owned and operated, Affordable Metal has been providing high-quality, long-lasting metal roofing solutions using energy-efficient materials that withstand the elements. This will be the last roof you will ever need. Affordable Metal is also your new building home. From she sheds to large commercial buildings, Affordable Metal has the solution for you. Come see their newly remodeled showroom at 303 Cleveland Street behind Wendy's in Muscatine, or call them at 563-264-8212.
There's the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam over in the floral department. My mother would be ashamed of me because I have no idea what the kind of flowers those are. I think those are tulips, maybe? Tulips? I'm going to go with tulips. I lived next to Orange City, Iowa for a while. I'm going to guess those are tulips. They have a big tulip festival over there in Dutch country. You did see that on that ad from Affordable Metal that during the month of May, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. Maybe through Father's Day, Russ, we can extend that 10%. 10% off buildings through Father's Day at Affordable Metal Manufacturing. That's how you do it. Sales 101, you put your owner on the spot on live TV so that they has to say yes. Or
I like that.
It just looks awkward.
Yeah.
So Hallie Martin from 7G Distributing is in with us today. Memorial Day right around the corner, big holiday, kind of first kickoff to summer. And you guys have rolled out some summer things from Budweiser and some other things this week.
Yeah, so we're super excited. Obviously, Memorial Day is one of our biggest holidays of the year. So, we're out promoting beer and, getting our sales up. But yeah, so Budweiser just came out with this brand new Freedom Reserve Red Lager. So super cool product, really good liquid. You can see the packaging looks, awesome. Budweiser, never saves any expense on, making their brand stand out and look awesome. So, but what's really cool about this product is actually the story behind it. So Budweiser has been, a big supporter of the U.S. troops for 100+ years now, and they came out with they call the Folds of Honor Scholarship Program, which is really cool. So they donate part of their profits to this, nonprofit organization that gives families of fallen soldiers scholarships to go to school and things like that. So it's a really cool program that they run, and they actually are donating. For every case sold of the Freedom Reserve, they donate $1 back to this program. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, and that's it's a Red Lockers. So it's a little bit different style of beer. It's kind of maybe got more of that Irish roots a little bit to it. With I'm going back to. Unfortunately, I know a lot about beer from my college.
Have you had it yet?
I haven't had it yet.
It's really good.
Tony was when he told me you were coming on. He kind of was telling me about it. I coach Little League. Busy nights for me right now, but it's an interesting way that they always have something new coming out. They just launched the orange a little bit earlier this spring, and that's going to be a big summer flavor for them as well.
Definitely.
And it's always interesting to me how they decide how they're gonna bring it out, and having something that they're giving back. That's really a good way to do it, because it's like you said, it's not just with the troops for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Even just last year with the hurricane in Houston, and they shut production down to do water.
Make
sure they got canned water to everybody. And it's a company that clearly has some roots, obviously Midwest roots in St. Louis. And, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's great to work for, such a good company that wants to give back in any way possible. So, yeah.
And with so this is something you can get here at Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits, and you can get it at any of their Hy-Vee locations.
Yep.
So is it a 6-pack that they give $1 back for, or does it have to be one of the bigger packs?
So it's a case would be 4 6-packs. So basically, if you buy one, you're contributing 25 cents is basically what it is. So buy this product. This weekend's going to be a great time to pick up a 6-pack, and that you're giving back, and you're gonna help those families. So
how long have you been with 7G?
So I'm going on just about 5 years now. So yep.
You've seen kind of all of how these things roll out, and it's got to be exciting. When do you guys learn about these things coming out? Is it a surprise when they come rolling out to you? Or?
It's not so much a surprise. We definitely know ahead of time, just so we know to market it and get ready for it. But sometimes it's a little bit last minute, but it's good. They have such great marketing behind it, and they always help us promote it. So, but we know a little bit in advance about these products. We knew about the last one, and then there's also going to be one upcoming in the fall-ish.
Fall teaser.
Christmas time. So, yeah. Don't want to give too much away on that yet, but focus on the Freedom.
Yeah, so we've got the Freedom Reserve Red Lager, Hallie Martin from 7G Distributing, bringing that down for us today. Anything else that you kind of see coming down the pike, or you want to make sure that we talk about?
Not too much coming up. Just big holidays coming up. So, just
what is your go-to Memorial Day celebration? Like, do you have a tradition in your family or in your personal?
Well, I'm actually from Cedar Rapids originally. I live in Dubuque now, but I always go home for the holidays for Memorial Day, and we have a neighborhood pool, so we'll always do a grill out and stuff. So.
What's the go-to thing on the grill for you? Because Chef Tess and I are having a burger.
Oh, are you?
Friday. We're gonna have a cook-off.
I pretty much like it all. I probably will go with a burger or a brat, but yeah. Yep.
You cook the brats early and you put them in a crock pot with beer. This would be a great beer to soak your brats in.
It would.
You can even do that before you cooked it. That would be a nice flavor.
Definitely.
To go into it. Well, Hallie, thank you so much for stopping in.
Thanks so much for having me.
And check out the Budweiser Freedom Reserve Red Lager. And again, big thanks to 7G Distributing for helping us out. We're going to go to the Toyota of Muscatine cart cam here as we get rolling. You can go to the 7G Distributing Facebook page and like them on Facebook too to get all the updates as to what's going on. And again, don't forget, the Freedom Reserve does $0.25 for every 6-pack or $1 for a case goes back to the Fallen Soldier Scholarship Fund that Budweiser is involved with and helping children of fallen soldiers matriculate on through in their education. So again, thanks so much, Hallie.
Thanks so much.
Here's the Toyota Muscatine cart cam. Heading over to the seafood aisle where Captain John will be over here shortly as our next guest. Pretty soon he will be making his way over here to talk about some of the seafood offerings that we have going on at our Hy-Vee store today. Now we're heading to that bakery, which some of those rolls that she just went by, and I'll ask Captain John this when he gets sit down, they would be a really good fit for a nice, great Memorial Day lobster roll that you could do for change up your Memorial Day barbecue a little bit. Get a bun from the bakery after you get some fresh lobster out of the tank. Captain John sitting next to us
how's
here.
It going?
Exactly. So I'm just trying to think of all the different things you can do with the seafood bunker. Grilling shrimp, grilling tuna, those things. There's a lot of opportunities to cook seafood outdoors.
Yeah, there definitely is. We got salmon on a cedar plank. We also have shrimp skewers. That's all going to be located at the end of aisle number 5 over there. We got lobster tails down back over here by the seafood case. You can do that as well. All sorts of different varieties. So
yeah, and with lobster, I think sometimes cooking the live lobster can be intimidating to folks. But I mean, is there any tips that you could give that person who may want to try it out?
All you really got to do is just throw it in a pot of boiling water for roughly about 6-7 minutes, or we could even cook it here for you free of charge.
Oh, okay.
So
you guys will take care of that for them.
Yeah, I'll cook it here. Just give me a little heads up. I'll get the steamer rolling, and I can cook that here and wrap it in some aluminum foil, and we'll be good to go on that.
I see the bags of steamer clams there. In the
mussels,
or the mussels, yeah. That's a great thing that you can do too on a holiday because you got a little bit extra time. The thing about seafood is it can cook so quickly. You don't have to. Once you get it seasoned and marinated, I mean, you don't have to slave all day.
No, you do not. Seafood cooks so quick, it's ridiculous. I mean, Shrimp skewers, we got cooked shrimp skewers, so all you're really doing is warming those guys up. Those mussels, you can put them on a skillet and just throw them on a grill that way, and that works too.
Oh, you know what would be really good? We just had Hallie from 7G on there. Chef Tess, you can tell me if I'm crazy here. Use some of that red lager in a pot with those mussels. Steam those up in the beer.
Yeah,
that would be really good.
Heck
Throw
yeah.
some red onions and garlic in there.
Oh yeah,
Making me hungry, man. It's not lunchtime yet, bro.
That's what we're here for.
Heck
But,
yeah.
some great opportunities there. Now, tuna. You know, a lot of us, we think of tuna, sometimes it's tuna in the can, you know, tuna salad, things like that. I have gotten the tuna steaks here at Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
It's a really, really easy fish to cook.
Oh yeah, yeah. All you got to do for those is just pan fry them for a couple minutes on each side. Simple as can be. I mean, it's one of the easiest things to start off with if you're trying to learn how to cook fish.
Yeah. How would you, like, what are some of the seasonings and things that you can pull?
I like using a teriyaki. We got a yakiniku marinade that you can get down at the end of aisle number 4. I use that one quite a bit, and that's really good. We have our Asian zing skewers that are already marinated, and those are really good too. And that has the same marinade on it.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah.
So what are some of the deals we've got going on in the fish?
Right now, as far as seafood's concerned, we got salmon portions are only running $5.99 a piece right now. I got salmon on a cedar plank for $7.99. Shrimp skewers 2 for $4. Those are really good deals right now. Tuna steaks are only $5.99 a piece for an 8-ounce tuna steak.
That's a nice,
just to name
that's
a
a hearty
few.
piece of fish for $8.99.
And then we got a 3-day sale on cooked shrimp starting this Thursday, $5.99 for 51 to 60 count. That's a 12-ounce bag. That's starting this Thursday. So.
And so the cedar plank, it's already, you buy the salmon on the plank, so all you have to do is just go put it on the grill.
Yeah, I already got it at the end of aisle 5 there.
And you just throw that on the grill or put it in the oven, and you get that great flavor coming through the wood.
Yeah, I got them seasoned and plain, so I would recommend pre-soaking it ahead of time. I soaked it, but usually you just want to pre-soak it yourself and then just toss it back on there and you're good to go. Yeah, for about an hour or so. That way it doesn't start on fire or anything.
Well, and also, you know, we were talking a little bit earlier in the week, yesterday with Mike Church, talking about, you know, people who are avid smokers now, they're smoking their meat. Salmon's a great fish that you can, you can do some smoking.
I even smoke salmon here as well. So I got some smoked salmon out there as well at the end of aisle number 5. Smoked sturgeon, smoked tilapia. We got a smoker outside, so I smoke all that here in store. And
it's got to be kind of like a fishmonger's wonderland here. You know, you can really kind of do whatever you want. And, And and the other thing is just the quality of seafood that you can get at your local.
Everything here is lot inspected. Out in we got it in Ankeny, Iowa over there, PDI and stuff, and they do all that for you, and you know everything's going to be good quality and it's going to come in super fresh. And yeah.
And if you don't want to do some of these more exotic things that we were talking about, like some of the mussels, maybe you're not comfortable with that. You've got catfish over here. You've got all of those.
We got breaded catfish fillets at the end of aisle number 3 over there. We got a whole bunker full of them. Just throw them in a deep fat fryer and you're good to go. Bake them in the oven. Super easy.
And I think one of the other things, we just made this actually last weekend at our house. My wife found the recipe and we came in and we got the easy peel shrimp, and you just throw it in a tin foil package with sausage. And we slice up some squash and zucchini and onions and garlic, and you just throw that on the grill or you bake it in the oven, and you just get this delicious, and it's varied. You put some Old Bay seasoning in there or Creole seasoning, and you don't realize how quickly you can make a really, you look super fancy.
And that's the whole point of fish. Yeah, that's the whole point of fish. Fish is one of the quickest proteins that you could possibly make, you know?
And you got some beautiful, beautiful product over there. That salmon.
And we set that display up fresh every single morning. We put brand new ice in there, and we wash all the fish. All of our fish is fresh on a daily basis. I mean, it's awesome.
You can even get your cocktail sauce there for your shrimp cocktail.
It's nice and pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's your crab crackers right over there as well. And so anything you would ever need for your seafood offering, you can get there. Here at your Hy-Vee seafood store. Captain John, is it De Novo? Is that how you say it?
Yes, it is. Name? Italian.
Yeah,
that's Italian from my dad's side, yeah.
I'm just glad I remembered how to pronounce it. I have this horrible German last name that nobody can say.
What's your last name?
Krausar.
Krausar. Okay, cool.
It's not fancy like De Novo. Which
yeah,
I don't
everyone
even know
tells me, they're like, that's a very fancy
scallops
name.
There, I know.
Yeah, sea scallops right there. Awesome. Pan fry those only a few minutes. Those are the mussels. There you go.
Everything there is making me hungry, and I really want some seafood this weekend. I think we'll have to maybe grab some and grill some up. You can make some surf and turf real quickly with your Hy-Vee seafood counter. Chef Tess, I know you're doing some mise en place over there, cutting up some apples this morning, but what is the guilty seafood pleasure in the Chef Tess kitchen? I like to put you on the spot. That's my favorite thing to do.
I don't know if you can be guilty when you're eating seafood. That's
a good point.
It's all pretty healthy.
Well, a guilty pleasure doesn't have to be not healthy.
I can do a bad guilty one. I like to take the cold water lobster tails that John has in the freezer doors.
Yep.
Thaw those out. I like to take the shell off of them, and then I like to submerge them completely in butter and poach them really, really slow in butter. So then you take it out, and I like to throw the shell. I take the meat off the shell, but I also put the shell in the butter. And as you cook the lobster, the shell releases a lot of that flavor. So then you have like this lobster flavored butter that you can then use to eat the lobster with, but then the leftovers you can freeze, and you can throw that on top of like a steak to get some nice seafood.
You have a lobster
flavor.
Compound butter there.
You have like a whole,
yeah,
and it's just ready to go whenever you want. You can put it in an ice cube tray, pop out a cube of it whenever you need it. So that'd probably be my guiltiest pleasure, would be to completely submerge seafood in butter and cook it that way.
Not only is that a guilty pleasure, but you worked a guilty pleasure into a really helpful kitchen tip on how to have something for a future meal.
Yeah.
Which is really that's why you're Chef Tess. That's why you do what you do.
It's all about creating less work for yourself. I think that's why a lot of people are turned off to cooking at home, because they're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. So I like to focus on little tiny, we like to call them chef hacks around here.
Sure.
Little tiny hacks that make it easier for you to work your way through your kitchen and do stuff for yourself like that at home. So.
Well, and you think about lobster, which people think of as the fanciest meat of all. I mean, it's you go out to a restaurant, you're going to pay $70 a plate for lobster, but you can get some of the tails like you mentioned in the fridge.
Yeah, $7.99 for the smaller ones.
And you can take that and warm them up in the butter like Chef Tess was just talking about, and you can slice it up, mix it in with some mayonnaise, fresh onion, and green onion or garlic. And throw it on a hot dog bun, and you have a lobster roll.
Exactly.
Which is a great. Again, you could have it's a way to elevate your barbecue, but at the same time, not break the bank and not kill yourself time.
I think that's one thing people don't realize about fish. They're so worried about cooking it, but it's, like I said, it's one of the simplest proteins you could possibly cook. As far as beef is concerned,
those easy peels are awesome because you just pop them right out of the bag.
Well, we even have peeled, and we already have a peeled in the vein one as well, in frozen bags out of my seafood case, and you can't go wrong with that either. It's already done for you. Put them in boiling water for 3 minutes, and there you go. Put it over some pasta.
I like to peel it myself because then I feel like I've done something. If I spend a half hour in the kitchen, then I think my wife thinks I've actually accomplished something in the day. So that's why I like
I get you there. Nothing wrong with that.
Which I appreciate you, John. Thanks for coming out today.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
appreciate
check out
it very
the
much.
seafood counter here at Hy-Vee. Again, all lot inspected, so the highest quality seafood you're going to find. And if you've got questions, come and ask the folks there, Captain John, all the folks working back there, Chef Tess. They'll be willing to help you learn. And maybe you found a recipe on Pinterest, and there's some more. Speaking of seafood, there's some Tess catching fish and cooking it up right there out in the wilderness in Colorado.
That was
a
fun day.
Is that some trout? Is that what you found out there?
Yeah, that's a rainbow trout. And I actually caught that. The first picture that they showed of me fishing with the mountain in the background, that is the day that I caught that. So, and then that's back at the cabin, cleaning that up. It's pretty proud. It's the first time I've ever caught trout. So,
do you know how many fish I've caught as an adult? One. I am the worst angler in the history of mankind. We'll go down to the Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri, and my 7-year-old son will throw a hook in the water and he'll just catch anything, and I'm standing there right next to him and nothing. I get absolutely nothing. It's pretty embarrassing.
I don't fish either, so I'm really not that good either. I didn't know anything about trout fishing, and before I went on my trip, actually, Steve Graham, he lent me his fishing pole. He told me exactly.
He's a big fisherman, I know.
He trout fishes all the time, so we've chatted about it a lot. He set me up for success, and it was pretty much just enjoy the scenery, cast the line out, reel it in, and got 3 of them in that day. So it was pretty easy.
And then, how did you cook them up there? It looked like you had some lemon in there. And
let's see. If you pull the picture back up, I'll be able to tell you. I kind of we walked through the supermarket that was closest to us, and okay, so that's there's some fresh basil on there.
Is that a blood orange out there?
Yeah, there's a blood orange, some lemon, sliced ginger, sliced garlic, olive oil. I think that might be it. Pepper, lots of cracked pepper, and kosher salt, and a little bit of butter. And that was it. I just closed up those foil packets, threw that on the grill. Like John says, I mean, fish and seafood, it cooks so fast. So I got those all ready to go. Started cooking the side dish, and then the fish was done by the time that we were even done with that. So very easy way to get dinner on the table in a relatively short time period, for sure.
And aluminum foil is really a cook on the grill's best friend. I think people just don't be afraid to use it. I mean, you can use it for so many different things.
Yeah.
And, you know, the other thing is too is maybe your grill got a little too hot. This happened to me over the weekend, and you start to really get some, I'll call it caramelization on the outside of a pork loin.
Yeah.
I just wrapped it in foil and kind of rescued it and just put it on the hot dog rack and let it finish cooking in the middle. But
Yep.
yeah,
There's also a lot of fish that tends to be very, very flaky when you cook it. And,
oh yeah.
And cod is one of those really great examples. Cod is very, very mild flavored. It's a great entry level fish, if you will, if you're not really into really strong tasting fish. And I always tell people, if you're going to throw it on the grill, make a foil packet out of it. Let it steam itself. What you're going to do is you're going to trap all those juices. You can put veggies right in there, and they'll steam right in all those juices. But when it's so tender, when it cooks, it just flakes right apart.
Mm-hmm.
If you try and cook that on the grill, I mean, you're going to be digging pieces of cod out from in between your grill grates, and it's
Sure.
just a lot easier to use that aluminum foil.
But if you're comfortable with it, or maybe you're not and you just want to get started, you can come over here right by Chef Tess's station at the end of aisle 1, right by aisle 2, at the utensil aisle, and I think I see it over there. You can get your fish spatula, which is over on the other side. I saw it when I came in. It's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So it's on the other side here. So that is it's a wider, almost curved spatula that almost looks like a grill itself. It's a good utensil to have, and you can use it for things other than fish. You can use it for burgers. I know it's a multi-use spatula, but it does really well with your fish.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Underrated tool to go and find. So we'll get it. If we don't find it, we'll show it to you. I think Ryan's grabbing one, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I was seeing things. Yep, that's a smaller version of it. That will work. But if not, I can grab it on Friday too. Maybe we'll show it off on Friday as well. This actually, this is a smaller version of it, but we can get you another one to show you too a little bit later on in the week, because Friday we determined right before we came on the show it's going to happen.
It's going down.
The Joel Krausar Beat Chef Test competition is going to happen on Friday. We're going to have a little cook-off, and I'm going to probably embarrass myself, but we're going to do the best that we can, and we may get our friends over at Toyota Muscatine involved in a little way as well. They don't know that yet. I'm going to go over and maybe try
You just like putting everybody on the spot,
That's
don't
what
you?
I do. Hey, I'm the guest host. I don't have to live with you people after this week. It's just I just get to move on. I'll just keep making holes for Tony to come back to next week. But again, big thank you to our guests today: Russ Miller from Affordable Metal Manufacturing, Hallie Martin from 7G Distributing, and Captain John coming in and talking about seafood here at your local Hy-Vee store. It's always fun to come and talk with you folks every morning. Chef Tess is back from her wonderful vacation. Not doing a lunch special tomorrow. Got a catering gig for Chef Tess. But Friday night, we'll talk a little bit more about this tomorrow. Got a family rib dinner going on Friday. And we'll have some more details on that tomorrow and Friday. And it's hard to believe it's Wednesday already. Last day of preschool in Muscatine. So I know I had an excited 4-year-old this morning as she was wrapping up her preschool career. So again, take care everyone as you go out. And I'm going to say hi to my son Drew, who is an avid watcher of Hy-Vee Live every single morning. He always asks his mother, he's 2, if he can watch or listen to Noni, as he calls Tony. It's Noni. Noni? So shout out to Drew for watching every single day. And again, thank you so much. It's Hy-Vee Today. Check us out, the replay at 8:30 and 10:30 on Channel 5 and 705, a Muscatine Power and Water digital cable. You can also check out the replay on Facebook, our Hy-Vee Today Facebook page, as well as the Hy-Vee Today YouTube channel. And also a big thank you to our team at Media Tree who puts this together. You can also see the 90-second review of this, the Hy-Vee Today in 90 seconds here at Hy-Vee Today. We also have some job openings from team staffing. We have First shift material handler, production operators, quality inspector, assembly. It's $12.34 an hour for that opportunity. Second shift welder at $17.09 an hour. Second shift manufacturing technician at $13.34 an hour. Second shift material handler, production operator, $12.96 an hour for that. Second shift CNC machinist, $16.34 per hour. Third shift welder, $17.88 an hour, and third shift machinery repair at $16 an hour. Call Mary at Team Staffing, and we also have mowing and light maintenance for $12.50 an hour. Call Brooke at Team Staffing, 563-316-7636. So a big thank you to Team for the supporting us, and they also have a part-time merchandiser position at $11 an hour. Call Brooke at Team Staffing at 563-316-7636. So that's going to do it for us today. Don't forget, you can see these replays. It's 8:30 and 10:30 on Muscatine Power and Water digital cable. And we also can catch those replays on YouTube channel at Hy-Vee Today, as well as Facebook at Hy-Vee Today. Like the Facebook page if you haven't yet, and also follow all the great things at Hy-Vee at your 2nd Avenue Hy-Vee on Facebook here in Muscatine. That's going to do it for me today. Joel Krausar, 3 days down. They're having me back, come for 2 more. I haven't screwed up yet. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.